Hello and welcome to a very special edition of Cake Fight Presents The Making of Kaleidoscope. I'm writer, director, producer Paige Feldman, and this series, The Writing of Kaleidoscope, is all about how I'm writing the script that's going to become my debut feature film as a director in 14 days, right before the start of 2022. Today is Wednesday, December 22nd, and we are on day 6. And today I am so excited to introduce you to my favorite technique for continuing to write even when you have a great idea that's going to change a bunch of little things that have happened before you got to this point in the script. When I draft, do not go back. I don't make changes. I only revise when I have a completed draft. And this trick is the thing that allows me to do that and keep implementing good ideas and changes that I want to make without having to break my flow. So let's roll those titles and I'll tell you all about it. So before I tell you my trick, which is obviously going to involve screen share, let me share with you my stats. Today, I worked for 10 hours, not on writing, on my day job. This is my last day of work before I took off for the end of the year break. And as always, one thing after another kept piling up, and before I knew it, I was working until 8 p.m. Not great. So I made myself do one 20-minute writing sprint, which I loved, and I would probably have done more, except I gotta get this video out to y'all. But if I didn't have to get this video out to y'all, I probably would not have written anything, so thank you. I wrote about 2.5 pages, went from middle of page 36 through the end of page 38, and I wrote the entirety of scene 8 and the beginning part of scene 9. Scene 10 is the last scene in Act 1, which I will get through tomorrow, and I'm so excited about that one because that's the first meaty interaction between Lee and Jonah, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let me turn on the wondrous screen share and tell you all about my favorite trick for continuing to draft even when you have a great idea. So I know I told you all back in episode 2 of this series how I like to use capital letters in the middle of dialogue or action to denote things that I need to research or otherwise look up or think about later, like Jonah and Zach's last names, or what specialty of law Lee practices. So those things that are in line, like the last name and the law specialty, those are things that I think of in the moment and realize it's going to take me too long to research them and make a decision while I'm drafting, and I should just keep pushing forward. But if I think of an idea in the middle of drafting that is more of a change to my outline or an additional detail that I would like to put in, I will make a note at the very top of my script in all caps about that detail. So, number 1, do I add butterflies in the opening scene or scenes? To just sort of start this theme off. And I thought, not a bad idea. It takes place a year before all of the events in the time loop, and the butterfly migration is a yearly event. So that could work, and also could work thematically. But I was too far past the opening scenes. I wasn't even in the opening scenes anymore when I thought of this. So I just make a note, and then now I have it here ready for revisions. Make Devin an asshole in post-accident scenes, maybe. I don't know whether I want to do this. I have him being pretty nice and sweet and understanding in these post-accident scenes currently, but I want to see how it feels if he's kind of a jerk too. Not necessarily a jerk in the same way as he was to Lee during the party when he was crushing her dreams and telling her not to be a photographer and her art is stupid, but more of a frustrated and annoyed, and the way that you would be when you can't do something that you know you used to be able to do, like if you get sick or you get injured and you can't work out in the way you want to anymore. Jonah wears glasses in the present day. I want to have some visual representation to show that Jonah and Lee are different during the time loop than they were when they were originally at the party. So for Lee, she has a very severe haircut. She's something going on with her hair color too, so she looks different in the time loop than she did in the original party. And for Jonah, I didn't actually have his physical appearance change much, but I realized that that might be a mistake, and I didn't want him to gain weight or have really long hair and look really schlubby, because that just feels lazy to me. His whole MO is hiding his mental illness, and so I wanted something that would denote laziness that you wouldn't necessarily think of as lazy. And so I've decided that Jonah wears contacts during the original party, and when he's depressed, he doesn't want to deal with his contacts, so he wears glasses. Finally, Lee and Devon's bed has a motor on it, so Devon can sit up easily. He has like a hospital bed that can recline and sit up and all that. And these three things make Devon an asshole in post-accident scenes, maybe. Jonah wears glasses in the present day, and Lee and Devon's bed has a motor on it, so Devon can sit up easily, are all things that I didn't have happen in the first scene that they could happen in. And they're all things that are going to recur over the course of the script. We'll see Lee and Devon's bed a bunch because Lee wakes up in her home every morning after this time loop. Jonah wearing glasses in the present day, and he'll also wear glasses in the time loop, so maybe I'll have him do some business with the glasses, or Lee will ask him about the glasses, and make Devon an asshole in post-accident scenes, maybe. Well, yeah, he's going to be in a lot of post-accident scenes. The entire script after scene 2, 3, 4, after scene 4, is post-accident for Devon. So what do I do instead of going back to all the scenes where these things didn't exist and rewrite? I do something called writing as if. Writing as if is exactly what it sounds like. You write as if you've already made these changes. So make Devon an asshole in post-accident scenes, maybe? I don't go back and see how is he an asshole, how can I revise these lines of dialogue to make him an asshole in scene 5 when Lee is helping him out of bed and they're both miserable. No, he's gonna stay being nice there until I get back to the revision, because I'm always gonna revise. This draft is just a first draft. Jonah wears glasses in the present day. I'm not gonna go back to his character description when we see him for the first time post-accident, post-party, and say that he looks the same except he's wearing glasses. Why would I do that right now when I'm already past the first time that they've gone through the time loop? Why bother? Why put myself back in that time frame? And Lee and Devon's bed has a motor on it. We'll see this a lot, but it's not really consequential to the plot, so why not write it in there as if it always existed that way, and know, because I've made a list at the top of the script, that I can fix it later. So I will show you what I mean, because today I wrote a scene in my little 2.5 pages. I wrote a scene with Lee and Devon and their motorized bed and Devon being a jerk. So we're scrolling down, we're scrolling down, we're scrolling down. So here's the scene. Lee and Devon's bedroom, Devon and Lee's bedroom, excuse me, morning. Lee says, what happened last night? She's just woken up after having been through the time loop, not had the rest of her evening. And Devon recaps, Jonah bailed on his comedy, but we talked for a while. Then you came back from a walk you took and took me home. Then you waited around your office until fucking midnight waiting for documents that weren't going to come until today, apparently. So pissy about the documents. And if Devon was nice, he would say something like, after you took me home, you had to go to the office, and poor you didn't even get the document delivery you were expecting. And what's going on with you? Weird dream, feeling foggy. That's not like you to dwell in dreams. What an asshole! And Lee's looking at this part, Lee's looking in the room for a cane, and she doesn't see it because Devon uses a cane. She's hoping that maybe her little trip into the past, that she's not sure whether it's real or not yet, made it so Devon doesn't have his injury because she doesn't see the cane. The sound of an electric bed motor makes her pause. And Devon says, before you get in there, you think you could get me up? I should make this more of an asshole line. Add some asshole. So that's it. That's all writing as if is. It's just making a decision on something you want to change or add that you didn't know you did until you started writing your script, and acting as if you've already made the change. It will save you time in the drafting process because you're not going back and trying to fix everything. And then it'll save you time in the revising process because instead of thinking, all right, now I have to go back and add in all those changes, you can see how it plays out. So since I'm not entirely sure whether I want Devin to be an asshole, I can see how it works on the page right now. And if I don't like it, I can change it. But if I do like it, which is my instinct is that this is a good choice, I don't have to do an entire draft revision of something I knew I'd have to change in writing the middle of Act 1. It's just that simple. That's all I got for today. I'm gonna get this video up, I'm gonna have some dinner, and then tomorrow it's some marathon writing because I don't have my day job until the new year! Thanks for watching, and if you're enjoying this series, please hit the like button. It would really mean a lot to me, get the support, and also to ensure that more people can watch me write a screenplay in 2 weeks before 2022. Thanks y'all so much, and I will see you tomorrow for day lucky number 7. Asshole.